Hello, amazing soul that you are. Welcome to my vlog where I share my energetic experiences, my perceptions of what's going on energetically to the best of my capability. And I haven't posted in a while because it's been a lot. We are working at a very profound level. And not only that, but the speed at which we are now capable of working within that profundity, it's amazing, but it required a lot of stabilization. And partially, I also feel that I no longer know what I'm talking about if I knew before. And I think the difference is before I was working from a lot of realization, right? I knew of things and then I would realize them, and even though I would speak from the new to me as a realized experience, there was some prior knowledge and I could make some correlation. There was some familiarity, and all that is no longer applicable, which makes it even more uncomfortable to share. But today I'm somehow able to articulate and realize that I've been really working with three themes. And the first theme being that I now believe our biology is capable of creating consciousness. For about a week, this is my experience where I'm deriving this. I had this perception of how my brain is literally installing new networks. I could see nodes coming together and they would fire and communicate. Not only that, but once that communication would mature and I'm going to say ripen, there was this reaching, there was this longing to unite with this universal awareness. And the image that I got, it was like my brain and these reaching were like lightning rods in the sand. And the flash, the lightning, was not, that was the connection from the awareness, but the awareness was not just there, right? There was this accumulation, exactly like clouds, and there's this ionization that was happening in the atmosphere, right? And there's increased interest from the natural, the universal awareness building, and at times there was the flash, this lightning. And this to me is completely new because I always thought creation or the material is a top-down creation, right? A consciousness awareness just is, and energy is slowing down through the densities all the way into matter, right? That was my construct of how things work. And now this is what's crazy. This is what's I don't know anymore, even, right? Like what I'm talking about. But somehow I'm like, oh, creation is also bottom up, so to speak. It's both. And the implications of this, that's kind of theme number 3. And that's the most I can talk about it. So I'll touch base upon that. But it's humongous, right? It's beyond anything that we can understand today. Yet here it is. I have this idea, this perception that this is what's going on, which leads me into theme number 2, which is this space that we are in. We are in a completely new environment altogether for this capability to have the resources, have the support, let's just say, to be in. And it almost felt like I went through a timeline jump, but I didn't have the evidence to say that. But it must be something like that. So usually how I know that I jumped timelines is first thing in the morning when I wake up, the light has a different hue. It's like my eyes have a filter, right? It's a different environment. The air smells, energetically speaking, different. Like I know that I'm in a different place, and those pieces are my evidence. And I didn't have any of that. But this one day I woke up, and it was supposed to be a fun day. And as the day progressed, my body became progressively anxious. And I'm not an anxious person. Maybe I get nervous with an outside stimuli, but I had none of that. And my body was losing it, right? It was losing its coherence, the order. And then I added frustration to the mix, and I became super emotional out of that frustration. And it's just very odd for me to be in that state with no provocation, right? It's just there. So I went to my regular tools, and none of the stuff was working. Meditation, stillness was completely out the window. I could not reach stillness. And then you can imagine the frustration rising, right? And anger and all these emotions of defeat. And breath work, if it was working, but I had to go to very, very entry-level breath work, right? Box breathing, counting, specific, my early on music, things like that. And it was working maybe for a very short period of time, but not to a satisfactory level even. So finally, after a couple days, I reached a level of commands. I would just give myself commands, right? Like stabilize, get into coherence. You are safe. Get into calmness. And it worked. It was almost like taking myself, my body very specifically, because, and here's what's the strange thing. My background was very happy. Like it was almost like I knew that everything was fine, but my body was acting, reacting, and I could not calm my body down, even though I knew everything was fine. So finally, these commands worked very quickly too, making me understand that trying to put my body through a procedure was dumbing my body down, right? And there was resistance there. So the more I tried, the harder it became, and that's why I became emotional, right? Because it's like, what's going on? I could not get through. But the resistance was so high because it's like, why are you trying to dumb me down? There was a natural intelligence. It was like, just tell me what you want. Stop telling me how to do it. Okay? Like, I'm more intelligent than you know. And finally, I started to work with it in a different level. And this intelligence was replying, was working, just like, wow, what is this now? How is this working? What's So I'm in a total space of not knowing the physics, everything that has been known, everything that I knew about myself went out the window. And I was fully aware that I was going through another identity crisis. Yet again, the loss that I was undergoing, this decay, this wilting of my old identities and personalities, or I should say the suffering that goes along that was not necessarily there. There is a knowing of happiness that was creating an even more confusion to the whole mix. So now I seem to have stabilized, and obviously I can talk to you about it now. And this leads me to theme number 3, that we have entered all about existence. And I don't know how to explain this more. If you're still in this process, you will understand. I'm talking about such existence at such fundamental level that we are the physics. So before, if I was talking about the matrix, I'm not talking about the matrix that held us captive, right? I'm talking about the organic matrix in which we were operating within a certain level of physics, a certain level of order, a certain level of coherence, the cause and effect, all that. And we were aware that we were operating within this what is-ness, and we were also aware that we were much more beyond that, but we were somehow accepting that what was the matrix, the physics, the geometries. Now I'm talking about operating as that, meaning, and I think these are some of the cause and effect, the ramification of our biology changing, because we are the laws of physics. We can accept one law for one choice, and we can create a different law for a different choice. And I'm talking about the flexibility, the variables that are truly now variables, and how the equations of existence, how that has changed, ultimately creating such a level of freedom that we are not right now capable, I am not capable of realizing. Somehow I just know that it is all about this existence and the choice of existence, and the choice that is being made is not being made from within the matrix, from an acceptance of what is. The choice is made beyond that level. So how this is going to be played out, how are we stepping? I mean, truly, it's godlike of creation, of the 3D creation, including the laws. So linearity is completely out the window. Our interest is at a system level now, and beyond that I can't really explain. This is where I'm at with all the things that have been happening in February for me. And if they have been happening for me, then they have been happening for us all. And it's all about this perception. How far into this can we perceive? And now we're experiencing this existence within our biology at a totally different level. So anyway, share with me in the comments, how is this puzzle piece fitting with your experience? I'm generally curious what other people have been perceiving. How are they taking this all in? And more about me in the description below. I'll leave access to my website and what I offer. And I wish you an amazing March, April, and whatever else wants to come ahead. So thank you. We'll see you around. Bye.